The world of childhood, a place of laughter, wonder, and of course, nursery rhymes. These simple verses passed down through generations lull us with their sing-song cadence and familiar characters. But what if I told you that beneath these seemingly innocent rhymes lie dark secrets, hidden truths, and echoes of a past far more sinister than we ever imagined? Join me, dear viewer, as we journey into the unsettling heart of history, peeling back the layers of time to uncover the chilling origins of these nursery rhymes. From plague-ridden streets to the steps of the gallows, we'll unearth the stories that inspired these haunting verses. Hold your breath now, for some of these tales are not for the faint of heart. But if you possess a thirst for the macabre and a fascination with the hidden truths of our past, then venture forth. For tonight, we delve into the shadows, where nursery rhymes reveal their true and terrifying nature. Our journey begins in the plague-ridden streets of 17th century London. The year is 1665, and the Great Plague tightens its grip on the city. The air, thick with the stench of death and decay, carries not the laughter of children, but the groans of the afflicted. It is here, amidst this backdrop of unimaginable suffering, that the rhyme, "Ring Around the Rosie," takes on a chilling new significance. Ring Around the Rosie, a seemingly innocent game of childhood, transforms into a macabre dance with death. The roses are not symbols of beauty, but the telltale red rash, a harbinger of agonizing death. Imagine, if you will, the desperation of clutching posies of herbs, a fragrant but futile attempt to ward off the invisible enemy that stalked the narrow cobbled streets.
And then the finality of the words, "We all fall down." Not a playful collapse, but the grim reality of an entire population succumbing to an indiscriminate killer. The Great Plague, a relentless tide of suffering, spared no one, leaving behind a trail of heartbreak and a rhyme forever tainted by its association with death.
Remember, dear viewer, as we delve deeper into these rhymes, the lines between fantasy and reality blur, and within that hazy realm, the truth, however unsettling, awaits to be discovered. From the plague-ridden streets of London, we step back in time to the tumultuous reign of Queen Mary of England, known to history as Bloody Mary. Feared and revered, her reign casts a long shadow over England, a shadow that seeps into the very fabric of our next rhyme, Mary, Mary, quite contrary.
Mary's garden, far from a sanctuary of beauty and tranquility, became a chilling testament to her unwavering faith and ruthless ambition. It wasn't flowers that flourished under her rule, but graveyards, overflowing with the bodies of those deemed heretics and enemies of the crown. The silver bells and cockleshells take on a sinister new meaning, no longer innocent trinkets, but chilling euphemisms for instruments of torture used to extract confessions and silence dissent.
Imagine, if you will, the fear that gripped England during her reign, the ever-present threat of the executioner's axe, the chilling cries echoing from the Tower of London. Mary, a queen driven by a fervent desire to restore England to Catholicism, became a figure of fear and fascination, her story interwoven with the rhyme that carries her name. But Mary's story, like many we will uncover, is a complex tapestry woven from threads of ambition, faith, and a brutality that chills us to the core. And it is within these complexities, dear viewer, that we begin to understand the true darkness that lies hidden beneath the surface of these seemingly innocent rhymes. And now we journey to a time of immense upheaval, a period where the very foundations of power trembled. France, in the throes of revolution, becomes a stark backdrop for our next rhyme, Jack and Jill.
For within its seemingly simple verses lies a chilling echo of the French Revolution, a period where heads rolled quite literally. Jack and Jill, in this context, may well represent the ill-fated King Louis XVI and his queen, Marie Antoinette.
Picture their ascent to power, their lives a gilded cage at the very pinnacle of society. They climbed that hill of privilege, unaware of the precipice that awaited them.
And fall they did. The revolution, a tempestuous force, swept away the old order, and with it, the heads of state. The guillotine, That chilling emblem of the revolution stands as a stark reminder of the abrupt end that awaited those deemed enemies of the people.
The rhyme's innocent quest for water transforms into a desperate scramble for survival, a struggle against the tide of history.
And just like that, with a resounding thud, Jack and Jill, much like Louis and Marie Antoinette, tumbled from grace, their story a cautionary tale whispered on the winds of change.
From the tumultuous streets of revolutionary France, we travel now to the banks of the River Thames, where London Bridge stands as a silent sentinel, bearing witness to centuries of history, both triumphant and tragic.
London Bridge is falling down. A rhyme as familiar as the city's skyline beckons us to delve into its murky past. Imagine, if you will, the year 1014. Viking longships, under the command of the Norwegian king Olaf II, bear down on the bridge, their oars churning the water into a frenzy.
The very foundations of the bridge shudder as these fierce warriors attempt to wrest control of the city.
But London Bridge, much like the city it connects, possesses a remarkable resilience. Through fires, floods, and the relentless march of time, it has endured, each reconstruction a testament to human ingenuity and a reminder of the impermanence of all things.
Yet, whispered beneath the rumble of carriages and the bustle of city life are darker tales. Legends of child sacrifices intended to appease vengeful spirits and ensure the bridge's stability send shivers down the spines of those who dare to listen.
The river, it seems, holds secrets as deep and as dark as its depths.
Our journey through the darker side of nursery rhymes takes us back to the reign of Queen Mary I, a monarch as devout in her faith as she was ruthless in her pursuit of those who opposed it.
Three Blind Mice, far from a light-hearted children's ditty, becomes a chilling parable of religious persecution. Imagine the fear that gripped England's Protestant community during Mary's reign.
The Three Blind Mice, perhaps a veiled reference to Protestant clergymen deemed blind to the true faith, lived in constant danger of discovery and punishment.
The farmer's wife, wielding her sharp blade, becomes a chilling personification of Queen Mary herself. Her actions a brutal metaphor for the persecution inflicted upon those who dared to defy her religious edicts.
Tales were not the only things severed during this tumultuous period. Lives were lost, families torn asunder, all under the banner of religious righteousness.
The Three Blind Mice, forever immortalized in this haunting rhyme, serve as a stark reminder of the human cost of intolerance and the enduring power of fear.
From the playful innocence of lambs to the harsh realities of medieval England, the year is 1275, King Edward I's wool tax. England's wealth rested upon the backs of its sheep. Wool, a lucrative commodity, intertwined with the ambitions of a king. Shepherds faced heavy taxation, filling royal coffers, leaving communities struggling. The wool trade became a point of contention, the shadow of the wool tax stretching far and wide. Bar bar black sheep, a subtle protest woven into its words. We journey now to the battle-scarred landscape of 17th century England, a time when the tumultuous English Civil War raged, tearing the nation asunder. Here, amidst the clash of steel and the roar of cannons, the rhyme of Humpty Dumpty takes on a life of its own, its origins steeped in the tragedy of conflict. Forget the image of a simple egg. Picture, if you will, a formidable cannon, perched precariously atop a church tower, its imposing form casting a long shadow over the besieged town of Colchester. This was Humpty Dumpty, a symbol of military might, a weapon of war capable of unleashing destruction with every deafening blast. Legend has it that during the siege, a lucky shot from the enemy's ranks found its mark, sending the mighty cannon tumbling from its lofty perch. The impact, as you can imagine, was devastating. Humpty Dumpty, once a symbol of impregnable strength, lay shattered beyond repair, its reign of terror brought to a sudden and decisive end. The king's horses and all the king's men, despite their valiant efforts, couldn't put Humpty together again. The cannonballs, once symbols of destruction, lay silent and still, merging with the earth and dust, a poignant reminder of war's relentless erosion on lives, hopes, and even the seemingly invincible. From the battlefields, we retreat to the opulent yet treacherous world of the English court, where whispers of conspiracy and intrigue swirl like smoke from a dying fire. Here, the seemingly innocent lullaby of Rockabye Baby takes on a sinister undertone, its gentle rhythm masking a tale of royal deceit and hidden agendas. The year is 1688, and King James II, a staunch Catholic monarch in a predominantly Protestant nation, finds himself facing growing unrest. The birth of a male heir, a potential Catholic successor to the throne, throws the court into a frenzy of speculation and suspicion. Rumours, spread by those who opposed James's reign, hinted at an unthinkable act, a changeling, a baby not of royal blood smuggled into the birthing chamber to secure the lineage. The true heir, they whispered, was hidden away, his destiny stolen before he could even draw breath. And so, the cradle rocks, not just with the soothing motion of a loving hand, but with the weight of a nation's future. Every creak and groan of the wicker basket echoes the tension that grips the royal court, the infant's fate hanging precariously in the balance. Is he the rightful heir or a pawn in a dangerous game of power, his destiny swaying precariously like the cradle above the ground? From the shadowy corridors of religious persecution, we emerge into the opulent yet equally treacherous world of the royal court. Amidst the silks and finery, whispers of scandal and intrigue swirl like courtly dances. At the heart of it all stands Georgie Porgy, a figure as charming as he was controversial. Villiers rose to dizzying heights of power, becoming a favourite of King James I. But his ascent was paved with whispers of impropriety, his name forever linked to scandal and heartbreak. His amorous escapades were legendary, leaving a trail of broken hearts and whispers of seduction. And now we find ourselves peering into the delicate and often unsettling world of insects with the tale of Little Miss Muffet. Some believe this rhyme originates from the real-life Dr. Thomas Muffet, a 16th century physician with a peculiar fascination for the eight-legged creatures. Imagine, if you will, the young Patience, his stepdaughter, taking her tuffet and bowl of curds and whey not in a sunny meadow, but in the dimly lit laboratory of her rather eccentric stepfather. Surrounded by bottles filled with preserved spiders, scorpions, and all manner of crawling things, it's not hard to imagine how a sudden encounter with a spider, perhaps escaping from a carelessly closed jar, might have given young Miss Muffet quite a fright. Perhaps this seemingly simple rhyme speaks to a deeper human fear, the unease we can feel when the line between the natural world and our own carefully constructed one becomes blurred. Time, that relentless tide, flows through our next rhyme, Hickory Dickory Dock. This seemingly simple rhyme, with its repetitive rhythm and imagery of a scurrying mouse, may hold a deeper significance. Some believe it reflects a time of great change in Europe, the transition from a world governed by the rhythms of nature to one increasingly ruled by the mechanical precision of the clock. Hickory, dickory, dock, the clock strikes, each clang a stark reminder of time's passage. The mouse, a creature living outside the constraints of human schedules, becomes an unlikely symbol of a world yet to be fully consumed by the relentless march of timekeeping. And so, dear viewer, our journey through the shadowy lanes of nursery rhymes comes to an end. We have unearthed tales of plagues and revolutions, of love and betrayal, all hidden within the seemingly innocent verses of childhood. These rhymes, passed down through generations, are more than mere child's play. They are echoes of our shared history, whispers of a time when life was often harsh and precarious. As you reflect upon these stories, remember that within every rhyme, behind every familiar phrase, lies a truth waiting to be uncovered. Until next time, keep your ears open to the stories whispered on the wind, for the past always has something to tell us, if only we know how to listen.